Welcome back. Topping our news this half an hour, inflation in focus. We did get the February reading on the Consumer Price Index, and it was in line. It showed that prices were up 0.2%, in line with expectations. This coming ahead of next week's Federal Reserve meeting, where the central bank is expected to raise interest rates for the first time this year on March 21st. Joining me right now in an exclusive interview is Charles Schwab Corporation founder and chairman, Charles Schwab himself. It is so great to see you, Chuck.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for joining us.
Lovely to be here. Our careers have been together, side by side, for 30 years. It's always fun for me to come back.
It's true, but you are a statesman in the industry, and you've done so much. You are a pioneer, and I salute you. So thank you for joining us. I want to start by talking a bit about the policies coming out of Washington. I think you've been supportive. The president is talking about his success in terms of tax reform, in terms of rollback in regulations, and then we'll get to the tariffs. But what has been the impact of these policies so far?
Well, I've always considered myself an entrepreneur, but a Republican entrepreneur. And what we have is probably the most dynamic change in legislation I have seen in my career as a public servant to serving our Schwab customers and involved in sort of policy too. I think what we've done with this tax bill is unleashing an unbelievable amount of power in the economy, power in our individual entrepreneurs, power in what is going to. We're just 65, 70 days into the change of the tax bill, what it is offering to American public. And I think we just have to put on our hat and be ready to fly away here. This is going to be an incredible period, next 2 or 3 years, I think, of economic growth, which means, in many ways, people are going to be coming back to the workforce. Participation rates will definitely be picking up again. They sort of went into the doldrums for sure the last 7 or 8 years, and I think that's going to be really a beneficial thing for most American families.
So you think that the impact of the tax plan is actually going to have a real runway?
I think so.
It's not a short-term thing.
It's amazing. When you look at the various factors there, I mean, I just look at, for instance, our employees, and it's so true for so many of the companies, the $1,000 bonus was something that was significant. It's like for the average person who makes about $75,000 a year, that's about a 4% after-tax income boost.
That's a big deal.
Then you add on the $1,000 bonus that many of our companies gave, including ours. That's another 4%. So there's a little 80% boost this year alone for the average American employee. So then you add on what's going to be happening to the corporate thing, which takes some time. Decisions have to be made in terms of investment capital that will be expended for sure. Development, in our case, we're putting in another 1 million square feet of space in different places in the country for our addition and growth of the Schwab Company. So there's lots of things that are going on, just many, many thousands of different companies. Ours is just one of course, and we're really anxious and very optimistic.
There are people who feel like the rollback in regulations was even more impactful than the tax-cutting plan. Talk to us about that. You're a leader in the financial services industry, and now they're talking about tweaks to Dodd-Frank. How important was the rollback in regs?
Well, it is crucial. What was happening before, without any rollback, was just crushing regulation, that decisions all had to be sort of go through the central government agencies, whoever agency you're sort of under. We're under the Federal Reserve, or under the OCC, or under the SEC, go on and on. And they all had conflicting different regulations, so you're trying to weave your way through all these things. So finally, there's a little bit of, let's stop, no more. Let's see if we can do some efficiencies here and make it easier for our businesses to operate, to really do the things that customers really want, is great service. Don't put all your time and energy into regulation. Put your time into serving me, the customer. That's what we need to do, and that's what we're moving about to do.
Because for so many years, companies, banks in particular, were hiring compliance agents and lawyers to keep up with the string of rules.
We're no different.
Right.
And I could quote you the numbers. I'm probably not going to do it because it would probably be a little embarrassing to do that. But we've had to put in incredible sums of money in terms of hiring people. And we're all trying to hire the same people,
right,
which makes it really difficult because the supply is very limited.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're really happy that deregulation is a movement afoot. It won't happen overnight, But I think we see the trend, and we really are happy about it.
What do you think is most important that they tweak in terms of Dodd-Frank right now?
Well,
that's in the works right now.
Yeah, I think right now what they're looking at, particularly the smaller banks, getting them outside of the big net that the Fed has put together in terms of regulatory thing. That the smaller banks, so the ones down the street here are lending money to the average person. Try to reduce their overhead and let them be more efficient about delivering loans and lending money to individuals. That would really be a great benefit. Then there's some other things that deal with the custodial banks that will be probably beneficial. They don't need to have all these great overriding regulatory things that living wills to some extent is sort of a crazy thing. Well, let bankruptcy happen. If a person does a bad thing in business, they should probably go out of business.
Right.
That's what should happen.
That's called free markets,
yes,
right?
Free market, exactly.